Bankruptcy fraud. What is bankruptcy fraud? When a person or business hides assets to avoid having to pay back debt. Hiding assets can be done by transferring funds overseas, friends, family, and consequences can be years in prison and multiple fines. What is money laundering? When someone hides money illegally obtained from making transfers through banks or commercial transactions. There are 3 stages of money laundering. The first stage is placement, the second is layering, and the third is integration. Placement is how money is moved from the original dwelling. An example is smuggling, which is moving money out of the country. Layering is the stage that hides the laundering by making it difficult to uncover. This is done by converting the cash to monetary assets, meaning the cash is used to buy an item and then that item is sold overseas for cash. Integration is putting the illegal money back into the economy. People and companies can do this by buying properties, fake loans, fake invoices, and putting the money into foreign bank accounts.
Common facts about bankruptcy fraud. Nearly 70% of all bankruptcy fraud involves the concealment of assets. Creditors can only liquidate assets listed by the debtor. If the debtor fails to reveal certain assets, he can fraudulently keep them despite owning an outstanding debt. Fraudulent concealment makes loans more expensive because it raises the risk and costs associated with lending, and creditors passes those costs onto other hopeful borrowers. Here are some statistics about fraud. In 2019, 3.2 million identity theft and fraud reports were received. From that 3.2 million, 1.7 million were fraud-related, about 900,000 were other consumer complaints, and about 651,000 were identity theft complaints. From that 1.7 million fraud cases, 23% reported money was lost, and in 2019, consumers reported losing more than 1.9 billion related to fraud complaints, and an increase of 209.3 million from 2018.
Bankruptcy fraud is actually pretty rare. Most cases are seen as mistakes or misstatements because these personal bankruptcy cases involve individuals with little education in legal matters. When filing for bankruptcy, it's smart to hire an experienced bankruptcy lawyer to prevent as many red flags as possible. Some of the most common red flags to look out for in these documents include messy or misleading records. Examples would be any missing key financial documents, recent transfers of cash or high-value assets, recent departures of key staff members can indicate they did not want to be a part of something going on within the business, and preferential payments to creditors. The case we will be discussing includes some of these red flags, which leads to a bankruptcy fraud case. What happened in the case? The case is USA versus Steven Zinnel, and the case number is 14-10141. Steven Zinnel was a successful businessman and investor from a small area called Gold River in Sacramento, California. He and his wife, Michelle, separated in 1999, and their divorce proceedings began in 2001. During this time, Zinnel sent his wife a rather angry email stating his intent that she and the children would receive nothing from the divorce, and later filed for bankruptcy to ensure they did. When his bankruptcy was finalized in 2005, it was a fraud. A quote from the State 3rd District Court of Appeals said that it was Zinnel's unstated but apparent view that if he can conceal his finances long enough, he will not have to support his children. Pictured here are his wife Michelle and his 2 kids. The case began with Zinnel contacting the FBI purely out of spite to investigate his ex-wife for revealing confidential health insurance information during their divorce hearings. However, as the FBI began their investigation, the focus quickly shifted from the wife to Zinnel. Particularly after hearing the wife's side of the story, Zinnel's fraud was discovered. Before this point, the FBI, the bankruptcy fraud courts,
No one had any proof or even any idea of the fraudulent schemes he was involved in, and his phone call to the FBI to intentionally harm his ex-wife and kids became the start of his demise. Because of the actions Zinnel took clearly for personal gain, some terms that were used to describe him in court were narcissistic, filled with fraud and deceit, spiteful, hateful, vindictive, and incorrigible. Zinnel was involved in multiple schemes in order to conceal his fraud. First, he kept his asset in other people's names, mainly Darian Edson, an attorney who was also his alleged girlfriend at the time. She later became a co-defendant in the case as well. Zinnel was also an investor in an electrical infrastructure company and received owner distributions for years. However, he was a silent partner investing hundreds of thousands of dollars, but his name did not appear in any public filings for this company. His distributions were actually hidden as payments to a shell company, Done Deal Inc., which was also owned by Darian Edson. From there, Zinnel would launder the funds back to himself through Done Deal Inc., Edson's attorney-client trust account, and her personal bank account. Zinnel was sentenced on March 4, 2014 to 17 years and 8 months in prison, which was smaller than the 20 years prosecutors had originally wanted. He also had to pay a $500,000 fine. He was convicted of 15 counts of bankruptcy fraud and money laundering and was ordered to forfeit his interest in the electrical infrastructure company, as well as the $2.8 million from its sale. Even after he was convicted, he called one of his sons to tell him that this was all his mother's fault. Edson was acquitted for bankruptcy fraud. However, she was still sentenced to 10 years in prison with no restitution for attempted money laundering. Zinnel's sentencing of 17 years became the longest in bankruptcy fraud history.
This is a quiz that will test your knowledge on what you have learned about bankruptcy fraud and money laundering. Please get out a pen and paper and write down your answers to see how many you get correct. Have fun Kahooting.